Yes, I'm Erin with Socially Powered. My background is that I have a MBA in marketing. I have studied, well, like Donna was talking about, we met online through social media manager school with Andrea Ball and Phyllis Kerr that are experts in social media. So I started my business about a year ago after helping a nonprofit with social media for about 3 years. Decided that I was gonna go ahead and branch out on my own. And so what I do is I work with small businesses to help them with their social media strategy, consulting, and actual social media management. So the actual postings on Facebook and Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever it is that they're using. So today we're gonna talk about how to easily create images for social sharing, even if you're not a graphic designer. So on today's agenda, we are going to create compelling content that your audience will love. And I've actually switched this up a little bit, but I didn't have time to change the slide. So next we're going to talk about what makes content go wildly viral. And then finally I'm going to do a live demo of a simple online tool to make images for sharing on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and so much more. So why should you create compelling content? Visuals are processed 60,000 times faster by the brain than via text. Visuals are 40% more likely to be shared, and 65% of people are visual learners. And I'm sure you've all heard this before, but 80% of people retain what they see, 20% what they read, and 10% what they hear. So, I poll for the audience, which post do you prefer? This boring text post, or number 2, that says the same thing, but it says it visually, right? So I'm guessing everyone likes number 2 better.
Yeah.
So there are 5 types of visual content that you can use on the various social media platforms. The first is just regular photos. You can do video, images, infographics, and then SlideShare or presentations. So Canva. Canva is what I'm going to be teaching you guys today, or showing you guys today. So the types of visual content that you can create with Canva are all social media posts. So anything that you're posting to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest. You can also do other types of marketing materials. So business cards, if you guys saw my business cards in the back, I actually created them in Canva. You can also do cover photos for your Facebook pages, your Twitter cover photo, YouTube, LinkedIn, presentations. I actually created the majority of this presentation in Canva. You can also do marketing flyers, you can do restaurant menus, they just actually added infographics, and then you can also do ads, specials, coupons, that sort of thing if you wanted to post those on your social platforms. So here are some examples of Facebook posts, and I tend to follow the same people or gravitate towards the same people. So you'll notice a lot of stuff by Kim Garst with Boom Social. So Kim posted that images with dominant colors, so if you're using a red, a dark green, or pink, you'll get 3 times the amount of likes or repins. I really just posted the middle one because I thought it was funny. So quitting Facebook is the new adult version of running away from home. We all know you're doing it for attention, and we all know you'll be back. So on this post, she had 492 likes, 261 shares. So, if you can find a way to be entertaining to your audience, you're more likely to get more likes, get more shares. People will be more engaged in that content. So then the last picture I have up here is, I posted this one because they say that if you post pictures of smiling faces, people like to see smiling faces, so you'll get more engagement with that. So then just to add on this topic, I wanted to say that when you're posting on really any social media platform, be yourself, be as authentic as possible. People will see through it if you're, trying to be something that you're not. And then, just make sure that you have a bold focal point and that your images are clear and easy for people to view. Okay, so cover photos. So all these cover photos were created in Canva. So you can see, one of my big things, I love the fact that Peg Fitzpatrick has the art of social media with the arrow pointing down. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but you can have call to action buttons on your Facebook page that direct people to take some sort of action, whether that be shop your website, go to your blog post. You can do like book me now if you, I don't know, if you were a hairstylist or something like that, you could have a link so that people could go book an appointment. But I really like that she uses the arrow to, it draws your eye to that button, so it makes people more likely to click on that button. The other thing that I want to mention about cover photos is that you should be changing them up. I recommend, sometimes some people say monthly, I recommend at least quarterly. A really great idea to use or to change up your cover photos is if you have any special events going on, if you have special sales happening. It's just a really good idea to bring attention to those special events you have going on. Another idea is like change it by season. So summer's coming, make it a fun summer image. In the winter, make it more wintry. So here's just a few examples of flyers that you could create, for either print or for posting on various social platforms. Infographics, which are perfect for Pinterest if you're using Pinterest. Canva actually just added this to their templates, so you can now easily create infographics. So with infographics, they allow you to capture attention easily with one graphic image versus multiple images saying the same thing. So here's some examples of ads or coupons that you could post on your page. I do want to mention, when you are doing ads, Facebook has a 20% text rule. So when we're done with this, I will send you guys an email if you want with some links, and I've actually got a link for that Facebook tool, so it will help you optimize your ads so that you can make sure you're within Facebook's guidelines for that 20% rule.
Is that just for ads, or is that for any visual posting?
Just for ads. You can post whatever you want on it.
But it would count for a boosted post.
Right.
So if you have a post that you made and Facebook is maybe saying you can boost it, but you've got too much text in the image, it won't let you, even though it's telling you to do it.
Yeah, which is silly. And so business cards, like I mentioned before, you can create business cards on Canva. So what makes content go wildly viral? So we are trending towards more visual content. Pinterest has 70 million active users. YouTube gets 6 billion views a month. Instagram has 60 million photos shared per day with 200 million users. And then tweets that have an image attached to them get 2 times the engagement than those that don't. And of course, we're not leaving out Facebook here. Facebook has, if you have a photo, you get 39% more engagement on Facebook. So 2 tips for visual content is that you want it to be eye-catching, and you want to drive your audience to take action. So what is it that you want them to do? Do you want them to like your post? Do you want them to share it on their page? Do you want them to go visit your website? What do you want them to do? What action do you want your audience to take? So the big thing is to stop using so much text. Less is truly more. We're bombarded with visual content every day. I mean, it's coming at us faster than you can imagine. So really it is, less is more. Be as concise as you possibly can. Try to use high quality photos, And on that email that I'll send out after that, I've got some links for free stock quality photos that you guys can use. And try to use a variety of visual content. Don't just do the same thing over and over. You know, mix it up. Use photos, use images, put together an infographic. Video is where it's at. If you can do video, you're going to get a lot more engagement with video. The only thing I will say is if you're posting video on Facebook, make sure that you're actually uploading the video to Facebook. You're not linking from YouTube. If you're doing a link, Facebook will push that post down so not as many people will see it.
If you do a video on Facebook, like on a fan page, can you set that so it always stays at the top?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. You should be able to just pin it to the top. Or, right?
But pins only last a week, so you need to.
Oh, really?
That. Yeah, I believe they're only a week.
No, they last.
Do they?
I thought
A pin is always there. Yeah.
You know, and what's funny is I actually had one of my clients, I had pinned something and it's randomly came back pinned, and I was like, I unpinned that a long time ago.
Yeah.
But Facebook's
They
finicky.
keep changing stuff,
Yeah.
so.
Bless you. Thank you. So really it's about showing, not telling, using images to tell your story if possible. Sometimes you can, and I meant to put one in here and I forgot, but sometimes you're able to, through an image, tell your audience what it is you're selling without even using any words. So if there's a way that you can do that, then that's even better than using words. So the other thing is to always be asking yourself, what's in it for them? How am I helping them? How am I solving their pain points? So here's some different ideas for visual content that you can use. So we've already talked about photos. You can also do quotes with images, or even just quotes with various backgrounds. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a photo background. People love how-tos and lists. So those are always really good content ideas. Asking choices or giving them choices or asking them questions, that really helps to build engagement. People like to share their opinion. So like this one, you know, are you an early bird or a night owl? And Kim, on that one, she got 80 likes, 57 comments, and 24 shares. And that's actually really low for Kim. She normally gets a lot higher engagement. Quizzes are good to use. And then if you have a business that you can show them screenshots or behind the scenes, people like being in the know or feeling like they know something secret about you or about your business. And then, as I said before, just be yourself online. So on your little flyout, I have this is my my thing, 5 C's of content. So create clever, concise content consistently. So it's really important to be concise. And I actually got some information from Buffer, and Buffer's one of my tools that I use. But people lose interest quickly, so try to keep your posts as short and sweet as possible. They say that 40 characters or less, if you can do it. I mean, 40 characters or less, that's short. But they said if you can do that, you will get 86% more engagement on the posts, which is huge. So, I mean, really it's about being as concise as you possibly can be. And then
I would assume that's 40 characters or less with the visual, because if it's 40 characters or less just text, that's not going to be enough to catch somebody's attention, right?
Right. Yep. So, and then the other thing is consistency. You know, try to be consistent with your posts. Don't, you know, post every day for a week and then go missing for 2 weeks. So just try and be consistent. If you can, try and post the same days and same times so that people kind of get to know that that's when you're posting, and they'll look forward to hearing what you have to say. Then Mark Schaefer is the author of Content Code, and he suggests using right content, which is relevant, interesting, timely or trending, and entertaining. So if you can, try and use right content. Okay, so brand your content. And this is something that we can talk about later, but Canva is actually coming out with it's Canva for Work, and it's gonna provide some additional tools. So especially if your business is your face, I think that it's really important for them to see you and what you're doing. So, you know, I recently had headshots on, and I've been trying to do a better job of branding my business. But I wanted to point out, even if your business isn't you, and you don't necessarily want to be in front of, you don't want to be putting yourself out there, I would definitely make sure that whatever you're posting, you're using your logo and your website, and also trying to keep your message consistent. So I tend to, my colors are the orange and teal, so I try to keep that same theme. I try to use the same fonts whenever possible, and then, you know, keep those colors the same. So I mean, it really is about trying to keep that same message or visual to your audience so that they know that it's you. So now I'm going to do a live demo. I'm going to have to get off of here.
I know somebody who creates a lot of great visuals, and she always brands them, and somebody stole it and took her logo off of it and posted it on his page like it was his. And she contacted me, said, yeah, I did, too bad.
Did you copyright it?
It's copyrighted automatically. As soon as you create it, it's copyrighted.
Well,
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's if you, I mean, you need to trademark and copyright your stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And put a little C with the date underneath.
Right, yes.
Okay, so this is Canva. So basically you can see here, you can either connect with Facebook, connect with Google, or you can sign in with your email. Sorry, I should have done that. And I just hit the wrong. Oh, cool. That worked anyway. Okay, so this is Canva. So you can see, I actually have a few things in here. This isn't my normal account because I actually have a different account. And yeah, if I have time, I'll show you guys that. But it's a little bit different. So
Well, just explain that there's a pro.
yeah, so there's a pro version that you can actually create graphics and sell your graphics online. So Canva, typically they have a lot of free photos and images and icons and a lot of free stuff that you can use, but they also have images that you can buy for $1, and you have access to adjust or manipulate those images for 24 hours.
That's the free account.
That's a free account.
Yeah.
Yeah, but well, Pro, you can basically get paid for creating images. And
Can you upload your own images though?
you can upload your own images, and I'll show you guys that in just a minute. So this is just, you can see here, Facebook posts, photo collages, various social media, presentations, covers, but there's so much more. So you can also do events, invitations. You can see there infographics. You can do, I mean, if you have recording artists, you can do album covers, blog titles, any type of flyer really, business cards. Here's all your covers, header, social media, presentations. I mean, there's just a ton that you can do in here. And if none of these templates that they already have built for you work, you can do custom dimensions. So you can go whatever size it is that you need. And you can change these by either pixels or millimeters or inches. So what I want to do today is just walk through a Facebook post. So the first thing I want to show you guys is layouts. So they have all these pre-designed layouts that you can choose from. And again, everything in here is $1 to use for 24 hours.
Do you have to pay to use those?
Oh, only the ones that, see when I click on that and it pulls up the little $sign?
Oh.
So they do offer a lot of free ones, and you can create your own. You can use, you can find your own images, upload your own images, or you can create different backgrounds, and I'm gonna walk through all of that. So let's just say,
my question is, if you're not used to using this program, how do you know when you're looking at an image versus a template?
well, so you're on layouts here.
Okay.
So that's how you can tell you're on a layout. And when you'll see the difference when I show you the images, because basically these are all typically with words, and like it's not just the image.
Like that thing there says Madrid. Could you just
So
upload that and go, oh wait, it's Barcelona?
Yeah,
Just change
so
the
you could
text.
do, this is what I was gonna do.
Oh.
So you would just go like that. Change it, and then, even if you wanted to say something completely different, or you didn't like that, that wording, so you can change it. You've got all these options for fonts, so change that. Say we wanna make it smaller, make it bigger. We can change the colors. So it's easy. It's super easy. You can move stuff around, and probably kind of hard for you guys to see, but see the up and down dotted line on there. So it's helping me line things up so that they're all symmetrical and not off-centered. The other thing that's great about this is if you have colors for your business already. So like I was telling you how I have the peach and teal color. So I have those color codes. So I just go into here and I can type in that color code that matches exactly my colors.
Like a Pantone color?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then you load that in there, and then it changes to your color, which is really nice. So I did also want to show you while we're in here on fonts and text. They also offer bold, italics, uppercase. You can switch your center if you want to go left justified, right justified. The other thing that you can do is text spacing. So if you want to stretch out your word, or, well, let's just add another line here so that. So if you wanted to change your spacing, you can do. So you don't necessarily have to add more text boxes to get your spacing the way you want to. You can just do it directly in there. So there's that. And I pretty much showed you all of the text stuff, but as you can see here, they've got add text for a header, subtitle, body. But then there are also all of these pre-made choices, and the majority of these are free as well. So if you've got, say you want to change this to Spain. So you've got all these pre-made things that you can just easily pop in there. So really a ton of stuff in here. So let's change the background like we were talking about. So this is where you'll see there's all these different backgrounds in here that you can choose from. And again, if you pick, well, actually I'm gonna open up a new one. So let's just say you pick this one, but you want it to be your color. So that's one of my colors. So it's easy for you to change the background to match your colors. And then they've also got images that you can purchase here for $1 for 24 hours. So that's how you can tell the difference between the images and the backgrounds, or the backgrounds and the layouts. Yes.
So that means you can only use it for 24 hours?
So you can save it and have it forever.
Okay.
You just won't be able to manipulate it and make changes. You only have 24 hours
To do all that.
to make all the changes. So
But
So
you
at
said
the end of this, you upload it to your computer, download
Right.
to your computer,
Yep.
and then, okay,
yeah, and I'll show you how to do that as well.
okay.
So and this is uploads.
So you wouldn't choose a background and a layout, you would choose one or the other?
Typically you would choose one or the other. Sometimes, I mean, you might do like, you definitely wouldn't choose a background and a layout, but you can definitely do a background and then go, you know, if you have images that you want to use, so let's just say I want that image in there, you know, then you've got the background, so it's not just a plain white background. And while we're talking about that, I want to go back. So for uploads, all you have to do is just go on your computer and find where your photos are stored and drag and drop them onto the page. And then the other thing that you can do is if you connect with Facebook, then all your Facebook photos, I'm not connected on here, but all your Facebook photos would be there, so you would have access to use those as well. Okay, so now I want to talk about a little bit about search up here. So search offers you tons and tons of stuff. So as you can see here, there's different grids. So if you wanted to have like a collage of photos, you could do all these, you know, all these different grids, and these are all free. Huh?
Pull one over so they can pull a grid over. I use grids a lot, and instead of a background, I tend to take a grid.
So
I just like starting mine that
yeah.
way.
So then, you know, all you have to do to put your pictures in, it will automatically just go in there, and I'm just pulling random. So you can see how easy that is.
And then now can you put words over that?
Yep. So just add text. Join us at the beach. And then, you know, I don't like that color. I want it to be yellow or green. I want it bigger. So you can see just, you know, how easy this is. And then I did want to show, and I guess I don't have one on here. I don't have my logo on here, but I just have my logo on the uploads, and then I just put my logo in there. And
Can you create a slideshow yet too?
I created that presentation. I created the whole presentation in Canva. Or not the whole thing, but the majority of it in Canva. So the grids, so frames. And I like frames a lot.
Frames. I use those all the time too.
Yeah, so if I'm not using a grid so frames, they have a ton of frames, so let's just put one in here. So this one. So super easy. They have, there's so much in here. So I have tons of shapes. A lot of times, like, I'll use a different shape behind text to kind of make it pop. So let's take this out of here. So then you can see just, you know, how easy it is to. Okay, so then they also have lines like we were talking about on the cover photos to try and, you know, direct people's visual attention to whatever it is you're trying to get them to do. They've got all these different arrows, just fun stuff to kind of mix it up a little bit.
Can you print from Canva? You
Yep.
download it and
Yep.
print it?
These are the flyers that I did are Canva. And if you guys, any of you saw the postcards that we did for this event, those were Canva. I pretty much do everything I do for my business in Canva.
These were Canva, you said?
Not those, they're the other ones that we had for this event that we were handing out.
So then do you order them through, like, are you paying Canva?
No, I typically just put it on a jump drive and take it to Office Depot or, you know, Vistaprint. Like my business cards, I did Vistaprint. And,
Cool.
So I did want to show you guys this. So in photos, you can see here, I mean, they've got all kinds of different photos. You can do a search for free photos. And then one of the things I really like about this on the free photos, or really just within the search of photos, is if you find an artist that you really like what they're doing, or you like their work, you can go click on the info button. Sorry if I did that too fast. So the little info button here. So then you can click on them and it will show you it will show you all the images that they've uploaded. So that way, you know, if you're looking for something similar to that, but they don't, you know, you're not finding exactly what you want.
Do they charge for that?
Only if it's one that they're charging for. So, and you can, again, I mean, you can see here, all the ones that have the little white box are free. So Unsplash is one that they, actually I think I have Unsplash on the list of the email that I'll send you guys, but they do a lot of free stock photography, and it's all really good quality. I mean, I'm looking at, there's all kinds of pictures in here that.
How do they, like, where are they justifying that? I'm just curious. Like, do they get market, like, ads?
No, I mean, I think photographers submit their photos to them, and then they're just, yeah, they.
Sign a release where you use
Mhm.
wow.
So.
I have a quick question where you're talking about the lines and things and going back to that Facebook cover. If you're designing a Facebook cover, does it show you where those buttons are so you would know where to place your arrow?
And I will say that it is somewhat of a challenge.
Yeah.
I have a client that I have a cover photo with a shop now or get your copy here or something like that. And it's a struggle because you see it differently than what everybody else sees it. So it does take a little bit of manipulation to get it the right way.
But you can create your own call to action button anywhere on the image, and as long as they click it, it's going to take them to the.
Well, you're not going to want to. You wouldn't want to do that because then that wouldn't be a button.
Well, and some of it is you have to keep in mind, like what Cindy was saying, is, you know, you've got a rectangle, but when you actually upload it to Facebook, you've got a profile picture, you've got type, and you've got those buttons, and they don't, in Canva, kind of show you where that's gonna be. So I don't know how you do it, but it's like I have two windows open. I have Canva open, I have Facebook open, I upload it, I check it, it's wrong, I fix my do you know what I mean? I'm looking at Canva and I'm moving things around.
That's exactly how I
and
do it
that's
too.
all
I'm like, okay, I need to move it just a little bit this way to the right, or whatever. You know,
it's really not a accurate template for Facebook
Well, it's the
cover
right
in that way.
size, it just doesn't, you just
it
have
just
to kind
doesn't
of,
help you with that.
you just have to know that, you know, that bottom, like, half inch or so on Facebook, just don't put anything there, you don't have anything.
Well, and then you also need to keep in mind when you're doing your cover photos is you've got your name, whatever your company name is, that, and if you have, I can't think of what they're called, but like the, you know, whatever type of business you are.
Right.
So we'll have your name and then we'll have the type of business. So you definitely want to make sure that whatever you're creating for that cover photo is, you know, up just a little bit so that you're not blocking that.
And Erin was talking about the 20% text rule, so I do ads the same way. I'm in Canva, I download it, I upload it to the 20% text rule box where I can see, and I check, and then it's like, oh, I gotta move my text up a little bit and I'll be at 20%, or oh, I need to make my text smaller, and so, you know, I just keep uploading down.
Well, and that's just it. It's not like it's just 20% text. It's about where it's at on the page, and like it has grids, and so
Facebook has a tool that will
right,
do that
and
for you.
and it's not just text like words. It's also like your logo will count as text. If you've got text in your logo, so you have to be really careful.
I think it depends though, because sometimes if you have an image with words, because I have a client that wrote a book, and so it's, you never really know what Facebook is going to approve or not approve. Like sometimes they won't count it if it's an image, if the wording is in the image, but sometimes they do. So.
Well, if you link your text and picture together, doesn't that?
It separates it out. Facebook knows. I don't know how they know, but they know, and they will, you know.
My very first ad, I had one line of text, just like, master your game now. And I thought, no way this is over 20%, right? But it split that grid line.
Right.
So they called it as 40%, so I had to move it up.
Right.
Because, you know, so it did make sense, but I could see, passed the human test, or failed the human test.
Yeah, exactly. So what else was I going to say about photos? I think I told you guys everything about photos. So there's charts, so these are great if you're creating infographics, there's all these. And you know what's awesome about this is you can change these. So it's not like these are set.
This is.
Yeah. Okay, so I told you uploads. So really that's about it.
Wait, can you go back 1 second? Where did you get to the graphics piece?
So it's all under search and charts,
Got it, okay.
and then they're all in there.
Okay.
Do those graphics, when you change the percent, does the pie chart sort of change? Like one that had a number, like a percent. So like 75 or 100%. So if you change that to say 50%, does the color band change? Or you can't change it?
You can't change that one.
Okay, you can't change that one.
But they've got
You can change
different,
the colors though.
yeah, they've got different choices for you though, so you just have to work within those.
If you're 23%, you're in trouble.
Darn.
But you can create your own through
Yeah.
their shapes and stuff.
Yeah.
You could create your own.
Yep. See if they're all that way. Yeah,
But
It
text
doesn't
box
change it.
over
yeah. But you could probably. No, you can't. It's gonna see if you could like adjust
No.
those, but you can't.
Not this week anyway.
Yeah, maybe next week when Canva for Work comes out.
So what's the easy way that you're deleting those? Oh, there's the
Trash
trash
can.
button. Okay, I didn't see where you were clicking
And I don't know if I went over that, but you can do like the back, you know,
for layer.
to bring stuff. Oh, and then there's also linking.
Oh, and on the photos?
Yeah.
All the filters.
Oh, yeah.
So
Did-
just,
That- I forgot that was what
explain
else.
the linking?
So, you know, I actually haven't even used linking. Have you?
It probably embeds a web link. That's what it looks like. It's showing HTTP. So if that
Let's
has
just
a
see.
link and you click on the guy that was 75%, it would take you to whatever website.
Let's just do it because I'll upload this. Okay. So I forgot I wanted to show you that on
You'll do
photos.
a quick new one, and then I think a lot of it is you just have to play around in here. And the first few times I went in, I got really angry and frustrated, but I just persevered and, you know.
So this is, you know, kind of like Instagram. You have all these different choices for adjusting photos.
Can you adjust even the ones you pay for? Or are they
Yeah,
set?
yeah,
Okay.
this one's a free one, but
And they have really good tutorials in there.
and that I was gonna send you guys out as well. I mean, they have like training that you can go through, and they have, it's kind of funny. I mean, they basically have you go through and do the actions in Canva, and then you get to the bottom, and then success, you passed. But they're kind of fun, and they have, I mean, they have tons of information. In fact, I was kind of bummed that I couldn't find a new like video, because I wanted to just show you guys a video rather than trying to walk through all this, but they didn't have anything good, so that's why I decided to go ahead and go live.
And
Okay,
is
that's
most
the
of the content
microphone.
free, or? is
The
it-
majority, I mean, I very, very rarely pay for anything on Canva. It's few and far between.
Yeah, I haven't.
I know you use it.
I haven't
Yeah.
paid for
Oh,
anything
you
yet.
have? Yeah.
No, I haven't paid
I
for
mean-
anything on it.
Yeah.
No.
It's,
You know, $1 to have your
Yeah.
stock photos already
Yeah.
in there and, you know, get them for
Yeah.
$1 is great.
well,
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just to find what you're
Mhm.
looking for in one place and just finish it,
Yep.
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
So occasionally if I
But I
can't find something
Yeah.
I like somewhere else, I will pay. But if I do that, then I try and create as many things with that one thing and save it, so then I've got it for, you know, as long as it's not dated or, you know, something like that, if it's something that I can reuse.
Oh, so within the 24 hours of that photo, you could create 10 different
Yeah.
images?
Yeah. Because, yeah, you have 24 hours to manipulate it however you want. So you can change it and save it and change it and save it.
So you
over
could
and
make a
over.
Facebook cover with that photo, and then you could make a flyer with that photo, and then you could make a business card with that
Yep.
photo. You could do all that stuff
Well-
with that photo in one 24-hour period.
The other thing you can do is, you know, if you have an image, then, you know, a week later you could copy it and change the date for the next, do you know what I'm saying? Like you've got an image that you like and you've got everything in there, all the text that you need except, you know, you need this month's date or the next month's date, so you can copy.
Oh, so as long as you're not changing the image itself.
Well, when you go into, if you go into go back to you, I mean, this is what I do all the time,
Like one of these?
all my saved images are there, so if I needed to change a word,
So I
wanted
was
to
just playing
reuse.
around yesterday.
Yeah, so I just copy it and then I make the changes, but it's already everything I need, so. I haven't done that with a paid photo. It's
I haven't
just my
either.
free, you know, all my own images.
Right.
And so I love that, you know, it's just real quick and easy.
And I'm trying to think if I mean, I could log in as me, but,
Can you search the photos
oh, that was
By-
what yes.
by topic?
Yes,
only in the
sorry,
free
that
ones?
was, I had something else with photos. So if you wanted a beach, you type in beach, and then, I mean, you're not gonna see, all the free ones aren't gonna be at the top, you'll have to scroll through and if you want a free one, but yeah, you can, anything. So whatever it is, whatever it is that you're looking
So
for.
you're gonna download an image or?
Yeah. So I just wanted to show you, so you can describe and tag, so I always try and name mine, you know, if I'm posting for my company, for Facebook cover, that way I can kind of keep track, because when you post, when you do as many Canva creations as I do, it's nice to kind of have them labeled. So then there's two different ways that you can share or download the image. I personally always use download because share is basically sending a link, so it's directing whoever to Canva, and then they can see your creation. So the only reason that I would ever do that is if, say, I was working with somebody else and I wanted them to see it, so then I would probably just email them that image so that, hey, go check this out, let me know what you think, and then I would download it. So let's just say download. So here's where you can do it as an image. As an image is what you would use for posting to any of your social accounts, high quality PDF, so you could print it out. And then they also have all these other options. I'm really not sure why you would want to publish with crop marks and bleed.
That's
For
for
printing.
commercial printing.
Okay,
Yeah.
which I don't do. And then if you have multiple pages, oh yeah, so I forgot to show you this. So I did kind of do it, but you can easily copy if you want to create the same thing, but change it up, you know, if it's different dates or whatever. The other thing that you can do is you'll see,
Can you import text?
no, but you can, I mean,
Copy and
if
paste.
you have text from something else, I just copy and paste it.
Well, like 50 pages.
Oh. No, and actually, you know what?
That way done.
You do have a 30-page limit, because I found that out when I was doing my presentation. I went over 30 pages and had to manipulate it that way. So
So
yeah,
how
you
did
can.
you do the presentation? Did you just build each page separately?
No, I just went here.
When you said you could do a slideshow, I thought you needed to save each image and then import it into.
No, it's not as simple as that. I'll just show you. That one, I think it's that one. Oh shoot, that's not me.
It is now.
Great. Now I have 3 Canva accounts.
How many people just have one email nowadays?
Right.
They want to take.
Well, I can't log in as me, but I can show you. So to create the presentation,
I'm gonna teach a class on keeping track of your passwords.
yeah, no kidding. So I just did it like this, and basically, you know, let's just say set my background as that, and then I would just adjust and change, you know, adjust each slide based on what I was doing. But I just copy, and then, you know, like I said, you can move them around easily. And then what you have to do to get it into like a PowerPoint or Keynote or something to actually present, you have to download it and then take each. It will come out as a JPEG or I can't remember if it's JPEG or PNG. But then you have to go actually individually put those into the presentation. So it's not seamless, it's not super easy, but I mean, I felt like it was easier to do it in Canva and have the same, you know, it's the same thing versus, I just feel like PowerPoint and Keynote don't give you that many options and you just have so much more to work with in Canva.
Well, you know, that was almost my question. It's like, you could do this entire thing opening Canva and then just downloading it into Keynote.
Yeah, and that's what
And, you know, without necessarily creating the Canva, if you wanted to do, you know, a different kind of presentation or
Right.
something like that, or
So this presentation today, you created in Canva, but then you put it into Keynote to show us.
Right.
So you
So-
can download
oh,
that
yeah,
one
so download.
image. Well, not, I thought you were gonna download that one.
I was gonna
image
do
to
this
see
one.
If we could, if that link did what we thought.
Well, now, which one had the link? This one? Yep. I'm gonna delete this one.
Does it just delete the one?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I have found it to be really slow.
What is it doing?
or Photoshop.
Am I on the one that I,
Because you can do recording.
They are in the brand, yeah, you were in the brand new one.
Oh, 16. See.
oh, I wanted to show this too.
I think we
I know.
need to wrap up.
Oh, come on. Okay.
I think you're gonna have to log out and log back in and see where
Right,
it
what-
should be that.
So you have multiple Canva pages open?
She's got
Yeah.
multiple accounts open
Yeah.
as well, so.
Well, let's just do it. So download. Still logged on?
But of course, we didn't create a link to that particular.
Oh,
graphics.
right.
Yeah, don't worry about it, because we've
Yeah.
gotta just, so
Yeah.
just close out of that one I think is in the wrong.
Well,
account.
they're all. That's the new one.
I think it signed you out
Of
of,
the
you
other
have
one?
to sign back in,
So now she's in.
but she's in the wrong.
So if you are gonna do something for print, the best way to do would go in and resize it the way you showed in the beginning, to resize like your graphic, right? And then
Yeah, and
download
you,
it.
well, I don't. So for some reason I have Canva Pro. And I feel like I've maybe got, that's why I just wanted to show you that, but I feel like I've got some of the Canva for Work options that are already available if you have Canva Pro.
Cause like when you did your business cards, if we were to use it as a regular, and you had to follow a template that was unique, you know, like you wanted to go into a sprint order, you know, a square one, and you just go in and resize that
Yeah,
the
you
way
would
that you
have put
should,
in the
custom size.
Yeah.
you would have started with the custom size.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So now we're gonna download. And so, yeah, so this is where you'll know if you've got an image that you have to pay for or not. It will tell you here and then say, how do you want to pay?
So here's a little tip if you're doing it for social sharing, that it was in a buffer article. Like if you do Facebook and Twitter, this is not gonna work for Pinterest and Instagram, but Facebook and Twitter, and you use Twitter's, which is a horizontal format. So if you make your image in Twitter, it will look perfect in Facebook and Twitter. So in other words, that way I'm able to make one image that's gonna work in both. But if you make that more vertical, like Facebook or Instagram and Pinterest, and you're using it in Twitter, it doesn't look right. So that's just the only, that's just one that will work for both.
But when you download an image, do you get the option where you want to put it?
Yeah,
on the
you
computer?
can change where you want it to go. You can see it's down here. It's probably just how her computer's set up. So then, you know, you've got your image, wherever you've saved it to. So then all you have to do is just drag and drop it, just like you would normally do. I don't want to post this, but I want to know how that can work, so maybe I'll post it and then I'll delete
You
it.
should have been able to do it from her desktop. The link should have worked.
Oh, from here?
Yeah, shouldn't it have? No? Okay.
I don't know.
That's just a preview, I kinda doubt it.
Yeah.
Right, so.
You can make your post private, couldn't you?
Only me? And just delete it immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, see, it doesn't.
I don't think you linked that particular graphic, I thought
I
it was
thought I
the
did.
one.
I thought it was linked to the.
The one I
man.
deleted?
Man,
Yeah.
the man with the blue,
No, it was that.
I thought the blue man was on
Okay.
top of there and you linked it to.
Yeah, there's the
You
link.
have
It
to
is.
play with it or.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna just ask if you have a very quick question, cause I always like to try to honor time and I wanna wrap up. And, you know, like I said, I think you just go in and play a lot. I mean, it's free, so if you end up with a ton of terrible images, delete them. That's right.
Stream.
I have a question
is
about
very
double-sided content.
So-
So if your business card was gonna be double-sided, would you just create two different
Yep.
pages? And then how would just the print would just let it flash down later?
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, like this one, I did this, copied it, did this, and changed it however I wanted, and then, you know, it came out as 2 JPEGs. I took a Office Depot and said I want this printed double-sided.
And then could I do the same for newsletters, like if somebody wants a 4-page layout?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. So just briefly, I'm on streams right now. So this, I sometimes would use this for inspiration if, you know, I'm having like creative block and can't figure out what I want to do. So these are some of the images that other people have created that you can, you know, go look out for inspiration. And then design school, and that's what we were talking about earlier. This offers you, they have blogs, tutorials, teaching materials. There's so much information in there. And then Canva for work.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. That's great.
I hope it was helpful.